everybody, and welcome to the Traveler's Tavern. Your host tonight is PA Nightmare, me and Mina, and Filia Noctis, with special guest, RandoCalrissian. PA, take it away.
But first, as always, welcome, travelers.
And welcome
Today,
to the
we have our amazing
host
friend
tonight,
Rando back on the show.
Nightmare,
Well, technically, it's the first
and
time he's
Mina,
been on this show,
Filia
but we've had
Noctis,
him as a guest before.
Special guest,
Hey everyone.
RandoCalrissian.
If you are not familiar with Rando's work, you guys can check out the Anomaly series that Raven has recorded, and you can also check out the story Mia has recorded, which is called The Diner, if I'm remembering correctly.
It is.
All right. He is very talented. He also has the Sunspot series. Sunspot? Was that right?
Sunspot, yes.
Okay. Yep, Sunspot series as well to check out. It is the sequel to the Anomaly series. Rando, why don't you tell the nice people some things about yourself, and then we'll say hi to the people in the chat.
For those of you who don't know, my name is RandoCalrissian. Like PA said, I am the author of the Anomaly series, the author of The Diner, and the author of Sunspot. I also have another story called Perception of Evil, which is also written on Raven's channel. Perception of Evil. You're
I'm
fine.
not becoming a merchant.
Perception of Evil is the prequel to both Anomaly and Sunspot.
Mm-hmm.
All my stories take place in the same universe, and I am currently writing a story. Well, I'm actually writing 3 stories. One is called Beautiful Nightmare for, of course, Beautiful Nightmare. One is called 1914 for PA Nightmare, and then the last one that I'm writing. Well, I'm actually writing 2 more stories for Raven. The last one that I'm writing is called In the Name of the Queen, which will be a prequel, spin-off, and sequel to both Anomaly and Sunspot.
Awesome.
And Perception of Evil. So it's going to be a 9-part series. 4 parts will take place before Perception of Evil. The second 3 parts will take place in between Perception of Evil and Anomaly. And then the last 3 parts will take place after Anomaly, and it will lead into Sunspot.
So what we're saying is you need to watch Perception of Evil, then you need to watch Anomaly. Then before you start Sunspot,
I got a question. That is, where does the diner fall in here?
I was gonna say, before you watch that, you need to watch The Diner, because if I'm not mistaken, The Diner takes place right before the Anomaly series.
The Diner actually.
I mean the Sunspot series.
No, actually, The Diner actually takes place right before Perception of Evil. So Perception of Evil takes place in the 1980s. And I'm sorry, not in the 1980s, in 2080. And The Diner takes place in the 1930s.
Okay.
So Perception, Evil, Diner, Anomaly, Sunspot.
Yep. Well,
That's
Yeah,
pretty
Diner.
incredible.
Diner,
Use
Perception of Evil, Sunspot.
Oh, Diner, Perception,
Anomaly,
Evil.
Sunspot.
Yeah. Either way, watch them. They're amazing.
And then in the name of
So you have like a
what's
a
that?
whole 150-year spread.
Pretty much.
That's
The
awesome.
time periods are so far between because the story is about one character, or at least the anomaly saga, which that's what I'm gonna call all these stories, is the Anomaly saga is about one character. Now, in the Name of the Queen, the focus will not be on one singular character. The focus will be on multiple different characters. So for those of you who don't know, in the series Sunspot, I introduced a new character, which was Medusa. Medusa was the first original vampire. In my continuity, she is a witch that experimented with blood magic, creating the vampires. And the first 3 parts of In the Name of the Queen will be her story.
That's awesome.
Cool. Awesome. I'm sorry, I'm excited now.
And
Not like I was.
What's that?
I said I'm excited again.
So
The
is,
second
is the is the one that you're writing for me also in the same universe?
Yes, it is. So
All in
1914
the same
will go
universe.
back. The 1914 will go back to the main character of Anomaly. So it will be Arthur, only this time he will be known as James.
Oh, nice.
So as you guys know, if you don't know, if you haven't read it yet, for anybody, spoilers. So if you
Just a little bit.
if you don't want to know who Arthur is, if you have not listened to the stories, please turn off your computers at this time and then rejoin at 30 seconds. So spoiler warning for anybody who's not listened to the series yet. Arthur is actually Cain. And he has gone through life carrying this immense guilt of killing Abel. And through every single generation, he has constantly changed his name. And the name that he chose for himself in World War I and World War II was James. He switched back and forth between James and Arthur, and ultimately stuck with Arthur. But in 1914, his name is James.
That is awesome. I'm really excited to read it. And folks, just in case you're wondering, according to Rando, this is going to be an hour-long story. So sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride.
So I do apologize on the lateness of the stories. My phone is actually busted, so I'm speaking to you all through my laptop right now.
Dude, you don't have to apologize for anything. You take your time.
You sound great. You sound great. Don't worry about it.
And you have the right to take the time you need to do what you need to do.
And I'm also actually really excited for another story I'm writing that will actually not take place in any continuity. It will be its own continuity.
Nice.
I'm writing a story for Raven, and it's going to be called "The Day Siren Head Was Summoned Outside My House." So, if you all remember, in Raven's very first live stream, he pushed the standby button and he asked everybody what happened, and I made the comment, "Well, Siren Head is now summoned outside my house. Thanks a lot, jerk." So I actually had an idea for a story where it's fun, it's campy, it's a comedy, and it's a character who is extremely aware of the story that he's in. And of course, Raven will be the narrator, and the narrator and the main character will be interacting with each other. And there will be moments where the dialogue will be written wrong. So characters that don't have commas in between their sentences, or maybe their sentences are all bundled up together, that's the way that they'll speak. The narrator won't catch on to it because it will be a different character talking, but the main character will notice it and ask the narrator why this is happening.
I love it.
So it's going to be a very fun, very campy, very just a story that's a lot of fun. And
That sounds like it, man.
It's going to be very complex because there will be no he said this, or Robert said, and then it will say what he said. There will be none of that. It will just be a long stream of dialogue and explaining things. And the reason for that is the way I want it to be read is with a lot of emotion, and you kind of get the way that people are speaking through how the narrators in the story were talking. And there's going to be a lot of fights between the main character and the stories. The main character and the narrator, and they're going to be arguing a lot, and then he's going to be arguing about other characters, and he's going to get mad because everybody is going to sound like the narrator. Even females in the story will sound like the narrator, and he's going to get super upset about that and be like, why can't you make her sound different? Why does everybody in this world have to sound the same? And it's just going to be a lot of fun. So
let's see. Let's see what we got in the chat now. So we got
Sounds
idiotic synergy.
amazing.
It really does. I'm excited for it. So we got idiotic synergies in the house. What's going on, dude? Of course, you got Raven. We got Noosey Boy. What's up, Noose? Gamma, welcome.
Hey. There's patience. There's the patience.
Woo! Welcome, Patience.
Amateur animator. My
Yeah, we got
buddy.
Amateur here.
He's my buddy.
Pam's here. Centaur or Centaura or however
I like to take credit for bringing him to the world of horror.
What's up, Sin? We got Raptor Rex.
Yes.
Silver threads. I see silver threads.
Where's Silver Thread? I didn't see
Yeah,
him.
Silver.
There he is.
You're
He's
late,
lurking.
boy.
He's lurking.
I don't care. I'm still gonna tell him he's late. Hey, Pay, how you doing? I think that's about everybody.
Okay,
I don't think I missed anybody.
everybody, I want you to take 15, 20 seconds and tweet us out real quick. Right now, everybody go. Send a tweet. Let's flood Twitter real quick.
Let's
And tell
break
everybody
Twitter.
we're live and they're late and they need to get here.
Let's break Twitter, everyone. Everybody aboard
Yeah.
for breaking Twitter. Can I get thumbs up in the comments for breaking Twitter today?
I'll give you a thumbs up right here. I mean, what?
Tell them we're giving away 100,000. Just don't tell them 100,000 what. It's air molecules. Let the birds fly. Anyway. So I don't know what the weather's like where y'all are, but we're actually having a beautiful day in the high desert up here outside of Satan's Spine. What's it like where you guys are?
It's just raining over
We are.
here.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're having thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's literally pouring rain here.
Which is why I'm laying in my bed.
I'm on the wrong side of the country. Although I did get some rain on Friday. But, it is Satan's Spine, so I guess we don't expect too much. It's more like sweat. Yeah.
And
Sweat.
42
Sounds
says
fine.
it's sunny.
Sunny.
Just a real quick
Yay.
special shout out to everyone who's putting thumbs up in the comments for breaking Twitter. I love you all.
Guys,
Yes.
yeah, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
Direct, I love you.
Break Twitter.
Thank you guys for doing that. That is an awesome thing.
Thumbs up. Break Twitter.
Break the Twitter machine.
All right.
Guessing the other people are actually doing their share out before they put their thumbs up. At least that's what I'm going to think.
Right. I tweeted out. You guys all tweeted out. Tweeted.
Actually, I didn't because I was having trouble with Twitter.
Oh, okay.
We tweeted wanted it.
I didn't tweet out
Raven
yesterday
says-
either. For the same
Raven
reason.
says I hate Twitter, so I'm all for breaking it.
we found
I'm a
one
waiting.
thing the
Why
Birdman
do I have
hates.
an arm and not I have an arm and not a thumb? What the hell did I do?
What did you do?
She's strong arm.
Apparently
She's strong arm. She's strong arming Twitter. That's what she's doing.
So
Oh,
I
I
actually
just
want
hit the
to
one
ask.
next to the thumbs up.
So I actually want to ask people in the comments if they want to know anything about me, or people in the live chat, if they want to know anything about me, please ask, and I will be happy to answer.
Yes, give us questions for him if you have them.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs. Do not like boxers. I do not wear boxers. What's your favorite
Well,
food? Oh,
how about-
excellent question, 42. So my favorite food would have to be Alfredo pizza. I love Alfredo pizza
Oh,
with onions
Oh, yes.
Yes.
and the
Yes, yes.
Alfredo sauce and the ricotta cheese. Just
Oh, yeah.
chef's kiss. Excellent.
Yes. Yes.
For
Raven,
those of us
um,
that are allergic to tomatoes,
you don't know
white
plenty
pizza
about
is a
pizza.
godsend.
what's that? What'd you
I
say?
said for those of us allergic to tomatoes, white pizza is a godsend.
It is. It is fabulous. And I'm not actually allergic to tomatoes. I just like it every once in a while for a change.
My stomach's like, oh, you want tomato sauce? Well, have indigestion. And I'm like, worth it.
There's another question. What is your favorite type of dinosaur from Raptor? Does that say Rex?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
My favorite type
Raptor
of dinosaur,
Rakes.
Right.
my favorite type of dinosaur is actually a fictional dinosaur. It is. If you guys ever seen the movie Dinosaurs, there's like that T-Rex thing in it with a giant red head and the spikes all over it. Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not a real dinosaur. It's completely fictional. That is my favorite dinosaur.
My favorite dinosaur has always been the Velociraptor.
I've always been in love with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know why.
Those little bastards
When I
are
was-
fast, lethal, and brutal.
When I was a little girl, and you know how they talk about little boys get into dinosaurs when they're about 5, 6, 7? I was 5, 6, or 7, and I got into dinosaurs. They actually bought me the Encyclopedia of Dinosaurs that year.
So,
That's
42 likes the Brachiosaurus.
Not a bad choice. Littlefoot. I mean,
I like the Triceratops.
pretty cool.
And not just the one from the movie. I mean, I like Triceratops. They're cool and they're, like rawr. Leave me alone and we're fine. Don't piss me off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Why does it have a Russian accent?
I don't know.
Do not piss me off. I part of Russian mafia. I part of
It
Russian.
just
I
grew
do
out that
In
way.
Mother Russia, Triceratops stand behind you.
So, since we're on this, there's a meme that says it's a good thing we named most of the dinosaurs like 100 years ago when we were all into the mythology and speaking Latin. If they were named, if they just learned about dinosaurs now, they had to name hundreds. There'd be the Heckin' Chunkosaurus and the Northern Thick Scaly Boy. And I freaking love that meme.
Raptor X says that the dinosaur I like is actually a real type of dinosaur. I did not know that. Cool. You learn something new every
Oh,
single day.
wow.
I was always told it was fictional, but what do I know? I'm just a guy who likes Star Wars.
Well, I'm so glad we have Raptor Rex. And I'm assuming that Raptor Rex is some kind of dinosaur expert,
Yeah.
Probably.
whether he
Even though,
Dinosaur
even though
comics
you,
education or just self-taught, but that's cool.
even though you use the Roman AX for Rex, but yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of cool too.
I think it is
I
cool,
mean-
but I don't know how he got the letters.
TikTokodon. Oh my God, Raven.
Tacodon, right? Totally. And then,
Tacodon.
but then they'd be like corporate sponsors, and you'd have like Taco Belladon,
Oh my gosh.
McDonald's Don,
No.
the Virgin Mobile Don. I mean,
That-
it would
that-
be
That
KFC
one-
Don.
That one that spits. That one that
KFC
spits.
Don would be a pterodactyl.
That one that spits the gunk in your face. That'd be a Taco Bell source. So to be coming
Yeah.
out the wrong end.
Because that's what would happen is it would be corporate sponsored, and all of the dinosaurs would end up with corporate names.
Yep.
Cherry Pepsisaurus.
Cherry Pepsi.
And you know that they would have to have one that your poor raptors would probably be Carandons.
Oh God, yes. Velociraptors would be Carandons because they travel in packs.
I would
Yeah, Carandon.
I would have to end people if they blasphemed on the Raptors so hard like that.
Yeah, but it's true. And actually, I saw
That's
a
funny.
video
That is
this
a really
week
good point, though.
that
when
they
you
broke
name them
down
now.
Karen. Karen is not a name. It's an
An
anagram.
acronym?
An acronym
Anagram.
where
Do you
each
remember what
letter
it stands
stands
for?
for something. I don't remember what it stands for, but the first one is know your subject. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's kind of not true.
It's like opposite day.
Yeah.
It's
That's
opposite day.
opposite
no
day.
subject.
Rex says your mamasaurus fattest.
Your
That's
mama
my,
said,
that's my new favorite one, Raptor. That's my new favorite one.
Oh my God.
Wow.
your
Is
mama
the Midnight
song.
Guard in here?
I haven't seen him yet.
I wish Bard was in here.
Because there would be one called Cornosaurus.
Okay, so
Speaking of Bard, he's having a Q&A for his birthday, which I think he said is here coming
and
in
is
a day or
200 and
so he asked me
something.
about any questions for him, and I said, so why is Lord of the Rings the best fantasy series to ever be written? And if your answer is it's not, then we can't be friends anymore.
Well, it's not. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not.
It is, because
it's a
Star
good
Wars
one.
is actually not fantasy; it's sci-fi, so
You
it's
shut your
science
mouth.
fantasy.
You shut your
So
mouth.
Right?
I'm
is.
talking straight
Star Wars.
fantasy.
Star Wars is sci-fi fantasy.
Thank you. It is sci-fi. It's
No,
a
no. I said
Star
straight
Trek.
fantasy.
It's
like
a
Star
medieval
Trek is a
freaking
sci-fi. Star Trek is
Sorry,
a
Rando.
sci-fi western.
I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings is still superior. And we're
If
saying
you go
every
back
single facet of the
when
word.
we
Look,
were
I like Lord of the Rings. Don't get me wrong. I like Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. Is
I
it
do
the
too.
best ever written? No. Is it up there? Yes.
We're gonna
Oh,
have
I've heard
to
of
agree.
James.
nope, it's my phone
But-
telling me that my prescriptions are ready.
42 says she's a
Oh.
Trekkie. 42, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
I'm Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a Trekkie. I'm a Whovian. I'm a Tolkienite. Don't put a box on me because I guarantee you it won't fit.
Don't box me in.
I don't.
If you
I don't mind.
read my about page on my blog, it actually says that in there. It's like I'm this, and I can keep going for days because I don't fit in a box. The label does
Because
not
me
work
and
for
Mina's
me.
awesome.
A label does not work.
Right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the panel, I want to give a quick shout out to 42 Reeds, who is our tech engineer and who is doing an awesome job for us.
Yes.
So
She
I
should
just
join
wanted
the-
to all let
She should join the
She's pretty
stream.
awesome.
Why does she
She's
just
here.
join us?
She's just quiet.
yeah.
She's
Unmute
just
She's
unmute yourself, 42. Join us.
At least come say hi. Okay, well just say hi. Wave at the people.
No, Raven, we are not going to have anybody murdered
No murders.
unless we get a whole bunch of clothes in here.
But no,
Raven,
you are
I'm not-
doing an
I'm
excellent
not-
job, 42.
I'm not
And we
opposed to that
appreciate
idea,
everything you
Raven.
do for us.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta get a bunch of clothes in here.
I just realized I said that all to you, but no one heard it on the stream. Hi, everyone. I have to mute myself on Discord and on the stream. So, so hi.
Howdy. Also, why are we not murdering people on stream? I mean,
Because it's impolite.
I'm not opposed to that idea.
It's impolite and we don't have enough clothes for it.
I think it's okay.
So,
And Raven said not to.
Oh, come on now, Raven. Nah, no murder. It's too messy.
So, okay. I gotta ask this, Rando.
what's up?
What gave you the idea for this wonderful universe you created?
Okay, so as I said last time I was on the show, there were multiple different stories that I was writing to try and craft this perfect story. And it was kind of like a potluck of different stories all together. But mainly what boiled down to it was I wanted to write a complex story of twists and turns, tragedy, missteps, faith, betrayal, and go through someone's life and show what one mistake, one thing that can, like, pretty much one bad day, how that can really affect somebody's life. And the perfect candidate for all of that came back to Cain, pretty much. You know, he killed his, obviously in the Bible, you know, if you don't believe in the Bible, you know, it's fine, but in the Bible, Cain kills his brother Abel. And I wanted to show how if he were to live all these ages, how that one singular guilt would affect him through his entire life. Also, I'm a big fan of sci-fi, of fantasy, of mythical creatures, of all this stuff. I'm a big fan of it, and I wanted to throw just a hodgepodge of all that together and create this beautiful world of just, I don't even know how to describe it. But and then the Jupiter setting in Anomaly. The reason why I chose Jupiter is because I've always, personally, my belief is, and this is some people might call me stupid for this, some people might call me an idiot for this, but my personal belief is that there is no such thing as gas giants. Now, I know people in science would tell us differently. However, if you look at the sun is made up of two gas cells. Does anybody know what those are? Team effort here. Does anybody know? Hydrogen and helium. What constantly happens to the sun when those two gases meet? There's explosions. There's sun rays. Our planet is heated. Now, they say that Jupiter is made up of what, like 27 different gases or something like that? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
If that were true, there would constantly
some of them have to be inert so it doesn't constantly explode.
Right. There would constantly be explosions. Jupiter would be incredibly unstable. Now, do you guys have to believe in this little conspiracy theory? No, of course not. If you think that Jupiter's a gas giant, then guess what? You're right, because nobody knows for sure. But I personally believe that Jupiter is not a gas giant and that it is solid. And that's why I chose this story to take place on Jupiter, because I've always wanted to show people what I think Jupiter would look like if we went to it. If it were solid, what it would look like, what the world would look like. And also, it's more fun to create a complete fantasy world of something that people have never even been seen before, because then your imagination can run rampant. And that's what I did. If you notice, on the story, like the navy blue bark on the trees and the amber leaves and the crimson sky and the purple water with the purple grass. It was, I let my imagination run wild, and I've always wanted to have a story set on Jupiter. So that's why I chose the Jupiter setting. I also wanted to show a man who struggled with guilt for his entire life and what that would constantly do to a man. And just that's kind of, if that was a little incoherent, I apologize. I'm not the best at saying ideas and putting them together on the spot like that. But if that gives you a little insight to how I created this and how I came up with this, that is why.
Yeah, it's interesting too that you chose to have him living forever, where he's constantly facing what a lot of people don't think about. If you're stuck with immortality and everybody else around you is mortal, it's a lot different than what a lot of people would think. I mean, everybody you know is going to die. Everybody that you love now is going to die. Yes, you may see your family grow and prosper through the years, but you're going to have to... You could also watch them grow old. You're also going to have to watch them grow old. You're also going to have to watch them die. You're going to have to watch their failures and their successes. It's not as easy as you think when you think, yeah, I want to live forever. I want immortality. It's not that easy.
Right. And if you guys remember on the last stream I was in, I read a story called An Old Friend, and it is a part of the Anomaly universe. And when he's talking to the man in white, who was revealed in Sunspot to be a manifestation of God, he says at the end of the story, you know, your wives will only bear daughters, and all your daughters will be barren. So he doesn't, even when he has children, he's not continuing his legacy. His children die. He buries all of his children. That's why he says in the Anomaly series, when he's fighting with Rachel and Rachel says, "Why didn't you let me go save my sister? Why didn't you let me go with them?" He responds with, "I don't think you understand how many children I've had to bury, how many families I have outlived." He knew that if he sent her, she would die, and he knew that she was planning on betraying him because he knows what betrayal looks like, and he was trying to hold on to her as long as he could before that betrayal happened. He was trying to get her to not betray him, but he was also trying to spend his last few moments with her. He didn't want her to die too quickly because he knew that her time was coming up. And also, in the Name of the Queen, which Arthur, or Cain will make an appearance in.
Hey, welcome, lady.
I was trying not to interrupt his stream of thought.
You're fine.
Hi, lady.
In the Name of the Queen, which Arthur will make an appearance in, or Cain, as he's known as the character is, it will show Rachel, his daughter, as a little girl. And in Anomaly, it says that, you know, because she's his daughter, and she's also the daughter of a banshee, which the banshee is in the diner. Daniela, she is Arthur's main wife at this point. She's a banshee. She has long life. And it will explain banshees into greater detail in the Name of the Queen, what my version of banshees are. Anyways, so she's blessed with unnaturally long life, and in the Name of the Queen, she will appear as a little girl, and we'll see how she grows. You know, she grows resentful towards him, and why she dislikes him, and she's figuring out that everything that he's telling her is lie after lie after lie, because in his head, because he's so far gone, in his head, he thinks that telling her a lie is protecting her from what he is. And really, he should be telling her the truth. But he's so far gone that he can't see that he's hurting her more than he's helping her. He thinks that he's doing right by her, when in reality, he's not. Now, again, Arthur will not be the main character in the Name of the Queen. There will be 3 separate different characters for each of the parts. The first character will be Medusa. The second character will be a character I have not figured out the name yet. She will be in the second 3 parts, and her story arc will take place during the human-vampire war that is referenced in Sunspot. And then the last 3 parts of In the Name of the Queen will explain Maria's story. Maria's the girl in Anomaly that gets turned at age 15. She goes to Mercury to become the Queen of the Vampires, and the 3 parts will be when she first becomes the Queen. The middle part will be during her reign as the Queen, and then the last part will be right before she goes back to Earth to get Arthur to come back to Mercury. And it will explain how she handled being the Queen and how she tried to handle the Wendigo. And something I was kind of disappointed about in Sunspot was the way I handled the Wendigos. I knew that they weren't going to take the forefront because the main point of the story is they're not the main threat. They never were. They were a smokescreen to conceal what was truly going on. But
real quick, Rando, I just want to say hi to Mandy. She popped in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy. Anyways, they were a smokescreen to conceal what was really going on, and then because the real villain was obviously Abel. But I still want to go into depth of what these creatures are and what my version of the Wendigos are. Obviously, in Sunspot, it was revealed that every single civilization have a Wendigo. Humans have a Wendigo. The Semedians had a Wendigo. The vampires have a Wendigo. The werewolves had a Wendigo. And by the way, the werewolves will be making a reappearance in the Name of the Queen.
I gotta say, man, that was one of my favorite things about your story. Was each like a civilization or
Remember Jared's long lost bottle of
has its own
juice he was looking
Wendigo.
for? His car ate it. I found it.
Wait, say that again. Say that again, PA. I couldn't hear you.
I was saying that I like how each either I don't know if you would call it civilization or species had its own version of the Wendigo. That was one of my favorite things about that story was the different Wendigos.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. So I actually want to ask you guys, which story did you like better, Anomaly or Sunspot? Which one was better? I wanted to, and people in the comments as well. I would like a definitive answer.
I honestly am not done with them. I fall asleep.
Oh golly.
I'm slowly working my way through it, but I keep falling asleep because your voice does that for me.
Well, Raven's voice too.
I want to say Sunspot for the simple fact that you were doing more voice acting in it, and I really loved your voice acting, so that added a lot to the story. So for me, it's Sunspot. I mean, Sunspot.
Is that the one where he goes to Jupiter?
The Sunspot is where he goes to
Sunspot
Mercury.
is where he goes to Mercury.
Jupiter is Anomaly.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. Personally, I don't see one better than the other. That's not the right answer, but
there's no wrong answers.
I like Anomaly. For various reasons. I like Sunspot for other reasons. They're different. There's different pieces to them, which makes them more attractive than the other. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not putting one above the other. In my head, I can't do that. They're like equal.
Yeah. My personal favorite that I ever wrote was Perception of Evil. I really like the Diner. I like Perception of Evil, and I really like the Diner because they are contained stories. And I put a lot of effort into both of those stories.
Dude, I love all your stuff.
So.
Perception of Evil might be my favorite as well because I just like that whole dynamic between the cop and the prisoner, and just how you freaking switched up the roles at the end. It was great.
My intention with Perception of Evil was the entire time you were reading it, the tool was to make you think that the interviewee was the bad guy the entire time. Hold on. Raven says, I like Anomaly more, but only because it had more detail. But Sunspot was a fitting end and did exactly what it needed to do. Well, I appreciate that, Raven. Thank you very much.
Quick question. Has Centaur been here the whole time, or did he literally just pop in a few minutes ago?
No, he's been here the whole time.
Okay.
I said hi to him at the beginning.
Okay. I'm just checking. Didn't want to miss someone.
So as I was saying with Perception of Evil, the entire point of the story was to make you think that the interviewee was the bad guy. He's playing the detective the entire time. He knows the detective is a vampire, and the detective is playing innocent. The detective is playing like he doesn't know anything. So the whole tools of them speaking together was to misdirect you to think that, I don't know if I succeeded in that, but I tried to, was to make you think that the interviewee was the bad guy. So I don't know if that felt like a twist at all. I don't know if people could smell that coming from a mile away. I really have no idea, but I tried to make it a twist.
No sugar. Mango. I tried one on the way home.
Actually, it did work on me for part of the story. There was a point where I was like, wait a minute. Something's going on here that I'm not exactly sure. And at that point, I started getting the twist. So it was a twist for me. I don't know about other people. PA usually catches on to things like that before he should.
I caught onto that well before I should have, because it was just the one, I'm an author, much like everybody in here. Two, I also had taken classes where I can I've essentially been taught to pick apart a story while I'm listening to it, but it was just something about how you wrote the detective and the mannerisms of the interviewee that I'm like, something's off here.
Right, and that's the point. Is it's supposed to feel like something's off the entire time.
And I figured it out. I think I figured it out around the time when he goes, "What is your perception of evil? Like, what do you feel evil is?" I'm like, I got you. I know what you're doing. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but I know where this is going.
Right. Like, do you believe in evil? Was the question.
Yeah, that was whenever I'm like, somebody's not who they say they are.
Right, exactly. And that was the point, is that part, the whole time he's speaking very philosophically and everything. It's supposed to make you feel very uncomfortable of what's
and that's
actually
why I liked it, because of how you wrote that character. Like it was just some perfect character development.
Yeah, I've got one of my stories, and this is why I think it probably took me a little bit longer to see what was going on. I don't necessarily make the vampire evil in stories. Right. The vampire is not necessarily an evil being. Stop.
Well, see, the thing in Perception of Evil is it delves into this more in Anomaly Part 3, but the reason why he hates vampires is because we figure out that they wiped out half the human race.
Just a heads up. Jim just said 15-minute warning. Just a heads up.
3-minute warning.
Oh,
15 already?
Wow. We've been here a while.
Oh, man. But it's like, the way I get they wiped out half the human race, and why didn't they just stay on their own planet?
Well, see, because they were being attacked by the Wendigo, and it will go more into it in the Name of the Queen, but because they were being attacked by the Wendigo, they needed to find a new home. It will also go into the reason why their Wendigo is the way that it is because they're very prejudiced. They believe that the entire universe belongs to them. Yes. And that's why Wendigo is the way that it is. That's why the Wendigo takes up half of their planet. So that's the...
Can we list off in order the stories again?
Yes, we can.
Just so people can know where to start.
So in order, the stories go The Diner, Perception of Evil, Anomaly, and Sunspot.
Right. Okay.
Now, if you guys would like, I can actually do for people who haven't heard it, I can actually do my Devil Boys real quick.
I love your Devil Boys.
So just
talked about it before.
Somebody write in the chat what you would like me to say in my devil voice, and I will say it to anybody. Actually,
I have a story coming up. I don't know when it's going to come up right now, but I am not a story. Sorry. I have a story coming up that I kind of want to borrow your devil voice for.
Could you say the last two titles real quick for me? As regular voice. Okay, the last two titles are Anomaly and Sunspot. Right? Is that what you want to know? Okay, As a Raven Dreams. In that case, I'll definitely check it out. Anomaly and Sunspot. Have you ever heard the story of... Oh, okay. So in my devil voice, Raven wants me to say, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yes, that is a very good
On the
voice.
bed to take off.
A Star Wars reference? Really?
Yeah, so that was...
That's how you're going to start out the interview?
Start
That's what I wanted to
out.
put in there.
He's ending it that way, you sillies.
No. That is a line from the Perception of Evil. The detective starts off that with like it was the detective that said that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the detective...
Yeah, so the detective starts off with that, and then the interview, he goes, a Star Wars reference? Really? That's how you're going to start off the interview?
It was such a good way, too. It was so perfect.
Oh, God, I loved it.
We're fangirling.
Yes.
So...
and you know it was a good one? Because my brain has a notepad of like witty one-liners that I add to it because I enjoyed it, and I added that one too in the notepad. I'm like, gonna remember that.
So Raptor Rex wants me to say in my double voice, foolish mortals, you can never defeat me. I have the grommet mug.
That's so cool. 42,
So-
it's right there on the screen. I mean, what?
right.
And I actually want to ask the audience, if you have any ideas for any stories, any characters maybe that could go into In the Name of the Queen after what I just explained, please let me know, because I'm kind of drawing a blank right now on what kind of characters I should put in here. I know the four basics for the first three parts. For the first three parts, I know the four basic characters I want in there, which will be Medusa, Cain, Abel, and another secret character. But I would like to know if anybody has any ideas for any other characters, or maybe some story plots or some story twists that I should throw in there.
But don't know. I'm bad brain. I have a story that I just finished. PA and Filia have heard part of it. And I haven't got it up on. It's my St. Patrick's Day story. And if I say too much here, I'm going to give away the ending. But the main character would probably work in your story.
Who is the main character?
Her name is Caitlin. And if I tell you that, the name of the story is
DM it to me, and
Okay.
that will work as well. If you
Okay.
don't want to say it on here.
Yeah, because I don't want to give away.
I mean, go ahead, Mia.
I don't want to, even though the title of the story kind of gives it away. If you would have to know what the title means to get it.
Okay,
Somebody
so
who's Irish will get the title and know what it means,
yeah.
but everybody doesn't get it.
Okay, I have, so two things. So one, 42 said 10-minute warning, and 10 minutes to 10 minutes and the ship will explode. And also, I have a shameless plug. I just dropped a link in the chat for 242's collab tonight. She's in it, I'm in it, and a bunch of other talented narrators are there. So anybody who's not subscribed to 242, definitely go check that out because you don't want to miss that collab. It's going to be freaking epic. Shameless plug over.
Yeah, I'm not in it, but I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Okay. Question. Is Medusa, are you having her as a Gorgon?
She's a vampire.
And is it like specifically Medusa, or is it just a random Gorgon?
So it is Medusa. It is the Greek mythology Medusa. However, my version of Medusa is a witch. So in my story, banshees and witch are kind of the same things. The only difference is you're born as a banshee. You have to learn how to become a witch, if that makes sense. Okay. So if you're born with witch powers, you're a banshee. In my story, at least, in my continuity. But if you need to learn those powers, you're a witch. So Medusa is someone who was born as a regular human. She learned how to do magic, and she gained the power of, when she looks at people, she can turn them to stone, because she practices black magic. But then she started dabbling in blood magic, and it explains this in Sunspot. She starts dabbling in blood magic, which creates the first vampire. Through blood magic, she becomes the original vampire, and she creates others. So she becomes technically the first vampire, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
She's the alpha vampire.
Pretty much, she is the alpha. And also, the werewolves that appeared in Anomaly, the dragons, will make an appearance in the Name of the Queen. They will be expanded upon, and then soon they will get their own story, which will just simply be titled Alpha.
Cool.
I sent that DM to you, Rando.
I saw that. Thank you, Mia.
All right.
So
now you know.
That's very exciting.
Before we end, does anybody else have any questions? Anybody in chat? Anybody here got any questions?
So I got a question for you. So
I got an answer.
It's a simple question, but have you ever thought about like making a website or anything and put your stories on there?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I send them out to like Raven, and I send them out, and of course I make stories, out to you and everything, and anybody who wants to read my.
I have the Anomaly on my list of series that I need to read.
But and to anybody anybody out there who's a narrator and wants to read a story, or if you want me to write a story for you, just please DM me on Discord. And if you say, hey, I want you to write me a personal story, here's what I want it to be about, or make something up, I will be happy to write you a story. Or you can read one that I've already written. As far as a website goes, I don't know. Maybe, but I've never really thought about it, to be honest with you.
Also, another important question: when are you going to self-publish a book with all these in it? Because I want to buy it.
So, if I were to ever write a book, with all these stories in it, the story, I don't know. I would have to structure it into a way to where every story kind of flowed together properly together. So there'd probably be like extended parts of each story. Like at the end of each story, there'd probably be extended parts to tie in the stories nightly, because every single story takes place over a ginormous time gap. Like, for example, Anomaly and Sunspot take place 235 years apart. And
200 or 100?
200. At the end of Anomaly, it says 235 years later. So They
Okay.
take place 235 years apart. So there would have to be a little bit of expansion on each of the end of every story if I was ever to going to put these stories in a book.
Well, that'd be nifty because that just give the readers, an actual reason to buy it. Because a lot of people who just put their stories in books after they read on the internet, people are like, I've heard these stories and I can listen to them anytime. But if you have like an extended edition in a book, that's more incentive for the people to actually buy the book.
Well, and that's something that Fabian does. Is he has a story in every one of his books that will never be narrated.
Right. So, and also to anybody who's wondering, soon I will be making my own YouTube channel to narrate some of my stories. So,
Oh, awesome.
look
That's
forward to
awesome.
that.
Also,
If you need
speaking of
to hear
Fabian,
It looks like we're gonna need to do a part 2 with Rando Calrissian because, believe it or not, we are out of time.
yeah.
Oh,
But I was gonna say, fun fact,
And
Sabian,
we're not done yet.
the other day gave me permission to read any story that other than Locust Lake that he's read on his channel because I have all of his books now. So that's pretty nifty.
Yeah, I've got the same permission, but the thing is that there is that usually it's the 13th story in each book that then that's the reason to buy the books, guys. You know, there are a lot of authors that you hear on YouTube that have books. Go get them. I was
Oh yeah, just another little fun fact. This Monday's story coming out is a story out of Creepy Ghost Stories book Leash. Actually, it's technically 2 stories: The Butcher Shop and The Perfect Cut. Check it out, honestly, because I busted my ass to get those done. That whole recording was cursed. Like, I will be highly sad if that just flops.
Well, we'll just have to make sure it doesn't. So, Rando,
will
are you
cry.
willing to come back again?
what's that?
Are you
Will you
willing to
come
come
back?
back again?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
yay!
And
Okay.
thank you for being here, Raven. Can we just give a special shout out to Raven real quick? Raven is
Raven-
absolutely incredible. I never
Yes.
thought in a million years anybody would read my stories, and I never thought anybody in a million years would be as good as technology as Raven is, because he literally saved the stream.
Yeah, Ray. First of all, let's adjust the first one. That's cuckoo bananas because your freaking writing is fantastic. Second, Raven is absolutely fantastic. Great at technology, great as a narrator, great as an author in his own right.
Great as a
Raven does
person.
right. He is a great person. So is Filia and Mina. These guys write.
42 reads.
They're awesome. And 42,
Yeah.
who's
I don't know anybody in this
Again.
community that isn't good.
again collab. Check it out. Me and Raven are both in there. So is 42. I'm all right, I
Yeah, throw
suppose.
that up again. Throw that link up again.
All right. I accidentally just
so,
dropped out of the
uh,
live stream.
So,
Raven did.
speaking
I don't know.
of Raven,
How is it?
we are coming to you on a YouTube channel
There it is.
called the
Sorry,
Nevermore
I'm myself.
Collective.
Nevermore Collective, and that was created by the Raven's Dream, as the Raven Dreams, for people who want a platform to do live shows like this.
That
We
are
can
not
put our own
necessarily
videos
part
on
of their normal channel format.
Yes, that link that I just dropped in is 242's collab for the night.
Anyway, yes, this is not this for people that don't normally do this. He has this platform, and if you contact him, if you're interested in having a live show, please contact As the Raven Dreams, so you can see about having your show on Nevermore Collective.
We will be back on Saturday.
Yes, we will be on Saturdays, which is going to be our normal days. We did Sunday today because Rando works on Saturdays, so this was a special occurrence.
And we may
and-
have a special.
I would
And
just
with
like
that-
to say thanks for having me on, everybody. Thanks for everyone for being so great in the chat. Thank you to PA. Thank you to Mia. Thank you to everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. And I really, really, really do appreciate it, y'all. And I love every single one. And I hope that God blesses you. And of course, as always, may the force be with you.
And as always, guys, remember, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
You know, I could be funny with this and say, may the fourth be with you and live long and prosper.
Once you step
You
into
guys,
my
you
realm.
guys get those. You guys get those once at the beginning and once at the end. Because if I try to do it anymore, my voice will be for the rest of the day.
You know, or
Thank
we
you
could-
again to 242 Reads for being our tech engineer. You're doing a
Thank you.
fantastic job, honey. As the Raven Dreams for creating this platform for us. Thank you, PA Nightmare, for letting us continue this show. Thank you, Mia Mina, for
Thank you.
being our co-host. Thank you, Rando, for being here. And
Absolutely
I'm
love
Filia
it.
Noctis, and coming to you from a small cave in Satan's spine.
And
Yes.
Rando is officially our first guest on this new
Yes, he
show
is.
with a new platform.
Be special.
And I'd
He's
love to
very
be back
special.
as soon as possible to have a little part 2 chat with y'all.
That would be fabulous.
Hell, I'd love to
That's
become a
right.
regular
Roast
guest
back.
on this. I'd love to become a regular person on this